we do 5:30, we should be fine. Good evening. We'd like to call tonight's Town Council meeting here in Council Chambers to order, March 9th, 2015. Agenda item number 1, Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda item number 2, roll call, please.
Councilor Kraska?
Present.
Councilor Clements?
Present.
Councilor Estrada?
Present.
Councilor Manna?
Present.
Councilor Moriarty?
Excused.
Councilor Peliquin?
Present.
Councilor Steves?
Present.
Councilor Vandal?
Present.
Councilor Vecchia?
Present.
8 here.
Great. Agenda item number 3, consider and accept Town Council meeting minutes of Monday, February 23rd, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I abstain.
Thank you. Simple hand vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Agenda item number 4, subcommittee reports. A, General Government, Councilor Clements.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A meeting was held of the General Government Subcommittee on Thursday, February 26, 2015, in the George Apparent Conference Room. In attendance were myself and committee members, Holly Christo, there's committee members, Council Vandal, Council Peliquin, Citizens Member Holly Christo, and Mike James. Also in attendance were Councilor Steves, Councilor Manna, Town Manager Pecos, Karen Cheka, John Jeske, Mike Murray, Maria Murray, Stacy Schaus, Rose Knoyer, Francine Farland, Scott Bailey, Derek Lamica, and Pete Durant from 8:10 to 8:30. We called the meeting at 7:05. Agenda item number 1, continued discussion of employee group health insurance plan proposal presented at the Council School Committee meeting on 2/17/15. The meeting was opened up for discussion. Kevin Pecos gave an overview of the proposals being discussed. Last year, the increase was 9%. Mr. Pecos said we cannot continue the increases at this rate. The goal was to review and make recommendations. Our health insurance, Maya, renews May 1st, but the GIC's plan goes into effect 7/1, but their numbers are not yet out to compare any savings. Maya's new plan rate will increase 10.1% this year. Mr. Pecos has asked our representatives for an extension. She is going to try and get the 30-day extension. Maya's decrement is 5%. Other scenarios are biannual bidding. We are currently in this process. Harvard Pilgrim, Tufts, and Cigna would not quote due to high claims. Fallon is interested in quoting, and we are waiting to receive their numbers. The Joint Purchase Group, JPA, is a joint health insurance purchasing group. Maya and GIC are among the largest JPAs. A JPA of members from this area could be extremely beneficial to establishing strong premium stability. Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust, HCGIT, is a self-insured JPA operating in the western part of the state. We petitioned them for membership this year, but were rejected due to high claims experience. GIC's current rates for plans comparable to ours are lower by 1.7%, but due to poor claim experience, GIC will have a dramatically large increase in their rates at some point. GIC announced that they have an estimated $150 to $190 million deficit, and we are waiting for the numbers to come out for their new rates. An exclusive provider organization, known as an EPO, is another option. An EPO is a health insurance arrangement where employees go only to designated doctors, specialists, and hospitals in a designated network. We have asked Harrington Hospital for a rate plan and are awaiting their figures. Maria Murray asked about Derek Lamica's handout, the difference of adopting Section 19-22 without adopting 22-23. Mr. Pecos said the handout applies to Section 19, not Section 22 to 23 of the GIC plan. If the town adopted Section 19, it is basically turning over control of the health insurance bargaining to the teachers' union. That was said because the teachers' union being the largest union membership we have here in our community for town employee. Mike Murray asked what the percentage of employees is that take the insurance. Mr. Pecos said between 70% and 80% take the insurance. Mr. Murray stated that if a decision is being made to keep and recruit employee, using the benchmark isn't going to solve the problem. Mrs. Murray said that if we offer an EPO with Harrington Hospital, you would also have to offer a PPO for people who did not live or go to Harrington for their services. Mr. Pecos said he is waiting for the proposal as a plan has to be offered for employees living outside the EPO area. Harrington Hospital has gotten a Tier 2 rating this year, which is very good. Derek Lamica said that Maya has given us an extension in the past. Also, since Maya also carries other town insurances, can't we leverage that so that Maya gives us the extension? Francine Farland asked about the eligibility audit, which was done in 2013. Can we see the audit? Mr. Pecos said no due to the HIPAA laws. Mr. Pecos talked about wellness disease management. Ours is nearly non-existent. This is one of the things we need to be prioritized once we settle on coverage. If members can take more control of their own care claims, claims would decrease, and therefore our claim status would improve, making us perhaps more eligible for better programs with lower rates. Councilor Vandal asked what the cost would be to change the contributory share. In other words, increase the town's contributory share with no change to the contributory share of the employees. Mr. Pecos said that based on last year's premiums, it would be $320,000 additional cost per 10% shift in contribution. Karen Cheka asked if IEC is defunct. Maria Murray said a meeting was held yesterday and they are reorganizing. And that was pretty much the end of the discussion on this. There will be another meeting in this regard. At this point, it's looking like Thursday. We have 2 meetings this week, and I'll get to those after. But it was just decided today there's more information on the health insurance, and that meeting will take place on Thursday. We just decided Monday, correct? Excuse me, Monday the 23rd before the meeting on insurance. Everyone will be notified who was interested in this prior, all the different groups, as we've discussed in the past. Okay, moving on to Agenda Item 2, discuss the possible donation of Christmas holiday decorations by the family of Rudy DiGregorio to the town of Southbridge, as described on the attached letter. Councilor Klein, I said that the decorations are currently stored at A&M Tool on Mill Street. Mr. DiGregorio had the entire second floor, but the family and the volunteers have been working to clean up and consolidate the area. They have been able to consolidate it into a 2,500 square foot area, which is set up for storage and a work area for repairing decorations. The area is currently leased at $300 a month. If the town takes over, it is guaranteed that the lease amount will stay the same. So that should be corrected in the minutes. The volunteer group will continue to raise funds so there is no cost to the town. Storage area for the decorations would have to include a work area and either first floor accessibility or an elevator, as some of the pieces are quite heavy. So the ultimate goal of that would be to find other storage options in the area, perhaps something the town already owns. I invited anyone who would like to go and see the area and decorations where they presently are to get in touch with us and to do so. It's quite interesting to see what we do with them during the year. A motion is made by Councilor Vandal and seconded by Holly Christo with a favorable recommendation to council to accept the donations of Christmas holiday decorations by the family of Rudy DiGregorio to the town of Southbridge as described. It was a 5-0 unanimous vote to recommend. Motion to adjourn was made by Holly Christo, seconded by Mike Janes, and the meeting was adjourned at 9:25 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Evelyn Rivera, recording clerk. So as I said, we have a meeting this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. There are just a couple of agenda items, so if you'd like to attend, it's here in the, it'll be in the Rice Conference Room on the first floor, and then there will be a meeting posted, scheduled tentatively for Monday, the 23rd, around 6 o'clock, before the council meeting to discuss insurance information. And that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Clements. B, DPW, Councilor Vandal.
Mr. Chairman, no report and no meeting scheduled. Thank you.
Thank you. C, Education and Human Services, Councilor Peliquin.
Yes, there is a meeting scheduled for Thursday, March 12th at 7 p.m. in the George Parent Room, and there's another one a week later on Thursday, March 19th, which is also 7 p.m. in the George Parent Room.
I have a question.
Councilor Vecchia.
To the chairman, to Councilor Peliquin. You have another meeting scheduled for the 19th. Can you tell me what that's going to be for?
We're hoping to hear about the school budget at that point.
We're going to be able to have that meeting?
I don't know if they're going to be ready. We may have to cancel it if they're not ready.
We should.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All set, Councilor Peliquin? Thank you. D, Planning Development, Councilor Manna.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Through you, I have no meeting minutes and no planned meetings scheduled. Thank you.
E, Protection and Persons and Property. There's no minutes and no meeting scheduled. F, Town Manager Search Committee. We have scheduled a tentative meeting date for April 16th, at which point we should have a list of candidates or to see where our candidates, our applicants have come in to get more information on that. Agenda item number 5, Chairman announcements. I just have a couple this evening. The Town of Southbridge and McCann Fields and Park Improvement Committee is going to have a meeting March 11th at 7 p.m. at the Southbridge Community Center. And this is to discuss the proposal of improving and reviewing the existing conditions of McCann Field down by Henry Street. So we have a contractor that's looking and proposing designs. So we would like to invite the public to come out. It's at 7 p.m. so they can have and hear their voice in regards to some of the designs that have been put together. Again, that is March 11 at 7 p.m. at the Southbridge Community Center. The next announcement I have is the Southbridge Little League is holding registrations, and their final registrations will be March 21st from 10 in the morning till 2 p.m., and that'll be at the Southbridge Police Station at the community room. They are asking that please sign up your child by the 21st, because if not, anyone who registers after this date will have to be put on a waiting list until these teams are formed. So they're trying to get numbers together. It does not say that they're going to start early in April due to the weather. We're going to have good weather this week, but there's still a ton of snow out there, especially on our fields. So again, just a voice of alert. Please sign up your child, both male or female, by March 21st. The last announcement I have, it's just a reminder, the Tri-Community Domestic Violence Task Force will be holding an event, an awareness task force, Dancing with the Stars. It's going to be held Saturday, April 11th at 7 p.m. at Burgess Elementary School in Sturbridge. Tickets are $12 for adults, $10 for children under 15 and seniors. For more information, you can call 413-245-1218. We do have two, according to their program, stars that are going to be participating. Our chairman of our council, Sean Moriarty, will be dancing, and also our town clerk, Maddie Bonadias, will be also participating and being a performer. So those are my announcements for tonight. Agenda item number 6, town manager's announcements. Town manager?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the hope that the snow season is over, knock on wood, we think we're done with it. Apparently, we fell like 1.7 inches short of the all-time record for Boston, but for Worcester, we made the all-time record by quite a margin, and we have the distinction of being, because we were actually more accumulation than Worcester, we're the snowiest place in America this year. We beat Buffalo, New York. That's a wonderful distinction. These are the new magnetic signs that will be going on town contract plows. We've had quite a few inquiries. Hold that up for the camera. We've had quite a few inquiries from citizens in the community about where all these contract plows that we hire. There are no identifications on them, and so we've ordered these magnetic signs. It will become policy for the contract plows to pick up 3 of these when they check in at the DPW before a storm. 1 will go in each door, 1 will go in the rear of the vehicle, so the public will be able to clearly see and distinguish who these contractors are that are working for us. When they're out there working, it'll be very evident that who they are. If anybody in the public feels that there's any suggestion for any reason to need to inform the town of anything, it'll be pretty clear, who's doing the work. That should be a substantial improvement, we feel, in terms of accountability for the taxpayers' money when we're paying that out to contractors. No identification right now. This is pretty much standard procedure in most communities, and I'm told it's something we used to do but got away from it. So we're back to doing that now, and I think it'll be an improvement. And hopefully, you won't be seeing these on any trucks this year, because hopefully, we won't have anybody plowing snow for the rest of the year. We have suspended daytime snow clearing operations. We are still doing a little bit of work on intersections and pushing some streets back, so there's still a little bit of that going on, but we're just using our own town forces, and we're only doing it on straight time. There may be trucks called out when we get into the spring freeze, thaw cycle. We may have a need to do black ice salting and sanding, but we're going to manage that very carefully. It'll be 1 or 2 trucks at a time, not the whole department, and certainly no contract plows. So I hope the first time the public sees these actually on a vehicle will be next winter, if we get lucky. So that's it, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item number 7, we had one presentation, the Liquor Licensing Board, but Mr. Farron is not feeling well, so we wish him the best, and we will reschedule that. So we'll move on to agenda item number 8, Citizen Forum. At this time, are there any citizens that would like to come to the podium and speak? Please state your name and address.
Hi, my name's Kevin Buxton, 28 Columbus Avenue. I'd like to come before the council to update them on a few items I brought up at the last meeting. One of them was the trash can program. After attending the Board of Health meeting and asking what was going on with the trash can program, Mr. Pelletier basically said it's up and going, starting to distribute, good turnout, positive feedback. And just as is my luck, the next day I'm walking down Dresser Street, and there happens to be one of the new trash barrels, and it has a trash bag that's pushing the top up a little bit, and what do I see? I see a 2-liter bottle, a 2-liter soda bottle, and a plastic clamshell type container used. Now, the bottle is actually redeemable. Possibly one of those people who we see go around town going through recycling and looking for cans will possibly find that 2-liter bottle. But my next question is going to be to the Board of Health. With the positive feedback and the good turnout and everything, are they taking the opportunity to ask these people, once you receive your brand-new Southbridge trash toter, would you please do as much as you can or have any questions answered and follow and commit to our curbside recycling program? I don't know, maybe it's just a situation. If somebody wants a trash barrel, they call up, they give their address, one gets dropped off, and thank you very much. And then once everybody gets their new trash bags, then all of a sudden maybe we'll step back and say, geez, you know, we really should have made sure that people understood that they have to comply with the existing laws. And speaking of existing bylaws, and I mentioned this at the Board of Health meeting, you're now going to have to see a lot of existing bylaws, such as landlords are responsible to supply trash toters for their tenants. That's just the beginning. Basically, the mandatory recycling section. I mentioned there are no rules, no regulations, no fees or fines for non-participation. That's going to have to be gone through. I would imagine the additional section on rubbish and rubbish removal. I don't know. I just see a situation where, like I said, $234,000 if we pass out 4,500 containers. And once you add indirect costs, the people who have to order these, the people who have to take down the information and distribute them, you're looking at a $300,000 project. I just don't see it. Maybe in the future, maybe we'd be so ready that our citizens would understand exactly how the curbside system is best obtained for the town's benefit. But right now, I think it's just for some reason, we've had it fail twice before the council, and for some reason, it came up again and this time went through. Mr. Pelletier mentioned, it was just a notice or a piece of paperwork that Mr. Moran had left, after he had left, about trash barrels. And I don't know what else to say other than I'm sorry. I think it's a project that needs to be, if not looked into, at least explained by the Board of Health, the town manager, if he can give any input as to how, why, when, and where this all got approved. I just don't understand it. The final thing I'd like to mention tonight is our town employees. With the budget situation going, a lot of times payroll and personnel come up. But I don't think there'd be any reasonable person that would not say that the people we have working within our town hall and our town employees are top-notch people, and we'd be in rough shape if we had to replace them. On the other hand, then we comment that if we don't continue to give the benefits, the pay raises, the steps to our town employees, they will leave us in droves. And I don't think that's a fair assumption of our town employees. I don't think their loyalty is so, I would like to think, their loyalty is not so much to the high and mighty buck, but that they do feel
Chair, 5 minutes.
their job and how they do it is a benefit to the town. And
Excuse me, Mr. Buxton, but you've reached your 5 minutes. Would you like an extension of 2 minutes?
yes, please, just to finish this subject.
Can I have a motion?
It's
Motion?
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Thank you. Extended 2 minutes.
to the typical citizen, we don't really interact that much with town employees. Myself being differently, I spend a little too much time here. A lot of the people know me by name, even if I can't remember theirs. But on a typical basis, you could mail in all your payments and never really have to set foot in this building as long as you don't have any animals or don't suddenly plan to get married in the town clerk's office. But the town employees are still important to us, like I said. When you do have to come in here, not only, of course, they're courteous and kind, but they're open to, they know their job well, and if there's an issue, they can send you where you can get that issue resolved. They can get your questions answered. Everybody's doing great. But like I said, this double standard that now we say if we don't continue to give them their benefits. Another thing that was mentioned was, well, you know, the unions negotiated 3%, 2.5% out of us, and it just would be unfair to give non-union employees any less. I don't know how to conquer that. I don't want to see us leave our non-union people behind. At the same token, the negotiations are the negotiations and how they go. The cost of living raise for Social Security was 1.7%. I can't understand, or maybe it'd be a good social experiment if we took that cost of living, and that was the cost of living for everything, for people on disability, for people on retirement. It's a single cost of living for the lowest level of the population. And wouldn't all cost of livings be more adequate to that level? You know, the cost of living raise is the harbor that raises all the boats in the harbor.
excuse me, Ms. Buckton, but you reach your time limit.
All right. I appreciate your time, and I realize the budget situation is very difficult, and I won't be able to stay for the meeting, but I hope to hear some comments from the council.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Mr. Buxton, in regards to, just quickly, the upcoming budget season, there will be several subcommittee meetings, several open meetings that we hope you join us and make your comments then also.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One last call. Is there any other citizens that would like to speak during Citizens Forum? Moving on to agenda item number 9, vote to accept the donation of Christmas/holiday decorations by the family of Rudy DiGregorio to the town of Southbridge as described on attached letter. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Manna?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Steves?
Yeah.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Vecchia?
Yes.
Counselor Kraska?
Yes.
8 yes.
Okay, motion passes. On behalf of my family and my children, I would just want to say thank you to the family of Mr. DiGregorio, because it was an honor and a privilege to see his hard work and to see this continued. Thank you. Agenda item number 10, vote to approve the zoning map change of Gulfwood Road to rezone the rear portion of the property at 79 Gulfwood Road from a two-family residential to a light industrial zone as recommended by the Planning Board. Second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
You have to read it.
Oh, I got to read it. Sorry. Excuse me. Yep. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to read the top 2 paragraphs of this because there's quite a bit lengthy, but in accordance with the provisions of chapters 40A5 MGL, the Southbridge Planning Board held a public hearing on Wednesday, January 7th at 6:45 here in GAR Hall in the lower level of the Southbridge Town Hall. The public hearing was open following the legal advisement, posting, and mailings to the Planning Board, boards of surrounding towns, Central Mass Regional Planning Commission, and the Massachusetts Department of Housing and Community Development. The quorum was reached. The purpose of the public hearing was to receive public comment and consider an amendment to the Southbridge zoning map as follows. Expand the light industrial zone on Gulfwood Road by rezoning the rear portion of the property at 79 Gulfwood Road, Assessors Map 22, Lot 72. The rear portion of the lot is currently zoned two-family residential. The proposed zoning change would make the entire lot light industrial as shown on the map entitled Gulfwood Road Zoning Map Request 2014. Roll call, please.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Manna?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Steves?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Vecchia?
Yes.
Counselor Kraska?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
8 yes.
Agenda item number 11, Councilors Forum. I will start with Councilor Vandal.
I'm all set this evening. Thank you.
Councilor Vecchia?
Thank you very much. Through the acting chairman to the town manager, when the general government subcommittee meeting minutes were read tonight, Council Vandal asked the town manager what the added cost would be for 10% shifts in contribution, and it was stated it would be $320,000, but I thought there wasn't going to be any cost to the town if we... Can you explain that, please?
Sure. The comment means whether we do it from savings or we do it from some other source, the cost to increase the town contributory share is $320,000. The hope is that that will be funded from savings by reducing the cost of health insurance with this plan we're doing right now.
Because we're going to have a budget, and we're going to have a lot of cuts, so this
Right.
would have to be taken into consideration.
Correct.
Thank you very much. That's it.
Councilor Steves?
I'll be brief, actually. I've just got a couple of quick things. One is that if you have any interest in agriculture, especially local agriculture, there's a free farm-to-table forum going on at Old Southbridge Village on Monday the 16th from 8 to 11 a.m. That's especially designed for people who want to grow things and learn how to sell them. And also on Friday, I went down to the MMA breakfast in Webster, and they were talking about a bunch of different things that I'll probably put into some more detail and email them to everybody. But just a couple of things that jump out at me while I was thinking about it is one of the things that they're looking for MMA specifically, is looking to put some pressure on the legislature to get a local aid resolution drafted, so we actually have some idea of what money we're going to be getting from the state going forward this year. That's from what Representative Durant said, that he's been being told that it's not likely to happen. You never know, it might though, if we put some pressure on them. So we'll see. There's also an effort out there in the state to get federal disaster relief for both the January blizzard and for the, as he put it, treating the whole series of storms in February as one long disaster, and get some funding for that, for snow and ice cleanup and stuff like that. So. Let's see, one thing, was that it? That's it for the moment. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilor Peliquin?
Nothing for me tonight. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Councilor Mano?
Thank you. Through you, just a couple things. I had the pleasure of meeting a lovely gentleman tonight, and he was talking to me about our new graffiti bylaw. And he asked me why the graffiti was still on the buildings in town. And I explained to him that we could not enforce the new graffiti bylaw on old graffiti. But I did tell him I would inquire with you, Mr. Town Manager, is there anything, and I researched this a lot when I was doing this graffiti bylaw, but I'm going to ask you, is there anything that we can do to encourage the property owners to remove the graffiti? I'm not saying we can't find them now, but what I'm saying is there anything we can do to encourage them? Maybe a letter explaining that having this on your property lowers your property value, and it brings bad, a bad perception to the town.
Sure, if the council thinks that might, be helpful, happy to follow up with letters to property owners and, suggest to them that, letting their property be defaced is a disgrace, and they ought to think about removing it, civic pride as well as the value of their own property,
There were many buildings that were vandalized during that graffiti blitz, and we did have many business owners actually clean up, but there are a few that are still, lingering. It's been about a year, maybe a little bit over a year. So I just, I did tell him I would bring it up. So, and also on that note, he did tell me that he does have one of the new trash toters, and he is thrilled to have it. He loves it, and he thinks it's a, a great addition for him. So, and to Mr. Buxton's point in regards to the toters didn't have to come through the town council. That's not a mandatory. That's a voluntary for the residents. They sign up if they want the toters. So the landlords are under no pressure, from the way I took it, to get their renters a toter. So they're under no obligation whatsoever to get any type of toters for the town. So, and Mr. Peliquin has been up here a couple times explaining this to us about the toter program. So, I did want to mention that. I also wanted to mention that there are some open meeting law scheduled for the spring of 2015. If you go onto the open meeting law website, there are actually four for Massachusetts, and the one that's closest to Southbridge would be in Ware, and that's on March 19th. And I really am hoping that I can make this, and I would encourage other town officials or anybody who is obligated to the open meeting law to attend if they can. It's very important to be current, I feel. And I just want to say one more thing, that there are openings on many boards, and it's an election year for the town council coming up. There's papers available. Come pull your papers, town council, school committee. I encourage you to get involved in your community. And that's all. Thank you.
Just to clarification, it's a training for the open meeting law?
Yes, open meeting law training, March 19th at the Ware Elementary School Auditorium, 6:30 PM to 8:30 PM.
Thank you. Councilor Estrada?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tonight I have no comment. Only good night, your citizen. God bless you.
Councilor Clements?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple questions. One through you to Mr. Pecos. You mentioned the possibility of black ice and sanding and such. You said salt and sand. Did we ever receive our additional chemicals? I know we were out of that, our wonderful new pre-treat chemical situation. Do we have that available? Did it ever come in?
They ran out about 4 weeks ago.
Right.
There was some left at all the suppliers, but the state was tying it up and weren't letting the suppliers have it. I think about 2 weeks ago, we got some. I don't know how many tons. For some reason, 30 tons sticks in my head, but don't hold me to that. So we did get some of the treated salt. We're getting plenty of the sand and non-treated salt, so we're making do.
Okay. I was just curious how that was coming along.
It'll start to loosen up now that the tremendous demand is abating.
Right.
We'll be able to get the treated stuff.
Okay, great. Less mess on the roads afterwards. The other thing, I was approached, received an email this past week while I was away from Robin Littell, who is very active with the Donate for Life program. She is a kidney, I believe it is, transplant recipient. And last year, for the first time ever, we actually raised the Donate Life flag for the month of, it's in the month of April. And so she sent an email requesting that we allow that again. She would like to, if it's possible, if it's something that we want to continue with. I don't know that we need a vote on it, or whoever's, last time it was Mr. Clark who allowed it to go up. And unfortunately, it was only half a month because we didn't know, it kind of took a little bit of time, but she was requesting that to present it or do some sort of presentation at the next council meeting if possible. I don't know what the agenda will be, something short, explaining what it is, and then present us with the flag that could be then raised on our flagpole along with the traditional flags we already have, and allowed to be there for the month of April if possible. So I bring that up, throw that out there, and we can get back to her. You can let me know if you think that's something that we as a community would like to.
It doesn't really require a council vote.
Right.
If you want to just do it by consensus, you know.
I guess I'm looking, I kind of seeing everything, so that's still a good
If you want it to come to the
idea.
council for a discussion, perfectly fine. But
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you want to expedite it, I'm happy to do that.
Okay. So, any comments from any of my people here?
I think it is a good gesture to do, to bring awareness to that, to the cause.
Unless someone on the council objects, you just refer them to the office and we'll
Right.
take care of it.
Okay, great. And again, she was looking to possibly, she had done that last time where she came up and just mentioned what Donate for Life means and what it means to her as a recipient, and how we can all participate in such the program if indeed we choose. Okay, let's see. I wanted to mention that Councilor Steves, I really appreciate it when you do go to meetings and you give us your information. Not all of us are able to go to everything all the time, and I read through the information you send me, and I find it at times very informing for not having been there and attended myself, so I appreciate your efforts on that anytime. Thanks. That's great. And I have to make a comment about the toters, too. The reason it's my understanding, having been here a while, the reason we had to vote in the past on the presentation of a program is because there would be cost incurred by the town. There was a time when they wanted to outfit the entire town, as Mr. Buxton pointed out, $200,000 worth or whatever. There was a grant program and such, and part of it would be paid for by our extra monies with Casella, and part of it was going to have to be incurred by the town, and it would have required a vote, which it's been voted down numerous times. It's my understanding, as Councilor Manna mentioned too, that we've been presented with the information that they use some of those funds that have been used for increasing recycling awareness and such, the extra monies that we have yearly. They've used some of those funds to purchase toters to encourage people to have lidded containers that match up nice with their recycling containers, and to do what's right for the community. So if you are somebody out there who needs a new toter on wheels that'll hold your trash for the week, certainly, check out with the Board of Health and see if they can get you a toter. It's a great opportunity to replace those ones that you have with the lids that come off, especially in some of the smaller, up to 3 family, I believe we pick up the trash. So if you've got the ability to make the community look better by having consensus on your toters, then I encourage you to participate in the program. It is free at this point. Now, it's not to say down the road the Board of Health might present to us something different. They might present the fact that they'd like to go mandatory to all households. We'll cross that when it gets asked of us again. At this point, it's a voluntary program, and it's also supposed to increase the time for dumping the trash, because when these toters are used, they're able to use their hook arm and to dump the trash quicker, which means pickup process is quicker for all the community, get the trucks off the road as quickly as possible, get the trash picked up, and make the community a better place. So again, my understanding of the program and how it's been presented to us numerous times, and I think it's great. If you need it, use it. That's what it's there for. And I think that's it.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
To respond in regards to the Donate Life, I will speak to Councilor Moriarty to see if we can put it on for the 29th.
If it is, I'll send the email to you, Mr. Pecos, and then you can, I'll let her know you're going to coordinate to whether the 23rd will work or not. And if not, she'll give us the flag anyway, and we'll just do what we got to do. She can always tell us about it in April if there's a problem.
Great. Agenda item number 12, discussion of our next meeting date, which is Monday, March 23rd, 2015, at 7 p.m. here in council chambers.
Can I just ask the chair and the council a question, sort of a process question? I'm told the budget's been presented to you in different ways over the years. What I would like to do, the council permitting, is on 23rd, give you the budget books, give you a presentation about how we made your parameter, your tax cut directive, what's in the budget, what isn't in the budget, that sort of thing. And then I'm assuming after that, you start scheduling the subcommittee meetings to begin looking into it in detail. Is that an acceptable plan?
That's very acceptable.
That's how it's been done.
And that's what we'll prepare for that night.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Agenda item number 13, adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? This meeting's adjourned.